one of the big common traits of all high performers that I have noticed is a elevated baseline state of urgency. If most normal people, expect to get something in 1 week, they want to get it done in 2 days. And if you actually read up on a lot of the high performers and a lot of the legends like Elon, Jobs, and Kanye, it's all about like compressing everything, like just doing all that work in a like much shorter period of time that actually seems impossible. And I think a lot of that just comes from a like elevated baseline state of urgency. They realize how finite time is. I think that's what it is. But they realize how finite time is, how there's like we don't have a lot of it and we just need to rush it. Like it doesn't mean shortcut. We need to just work so hard, completely disregard everything else and just work on this thing and get it done yesterday. And now, I'm sure there's like a lot of mistakes get made during that time. But that being said, what I've noticed is that people who move fast through life, they make those failures faster, and so their feedback loops are way faster, and so they're able to, like, before the market even changes, before like before that opportunity goes away, they have been able to reiterate their business so many times that they're able to now succeed and actually find the thing that works, and kind of just now they have an open runway and they can just go 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 because they have failed so fast. Now, obviously, oftentimes you do need capital for stuff like that. But even if you don't have capital, usually you still have some advantages, because if you don't have capital, you probably have time. And what you can do is just eliminate all social distractions, social interactions that, you would go, to Taco Tuesday, or, the Friday night out. Like, you can just get rid of all that and just stay at home and just study the whole night. You can actually, instead of sleeping 10 hours because you love sleep, you could just sleep 7 or even 6, the bare minimum. And so, everybody has advantages. Like, before you sit there and think like, oh, but I don't have the capital to, eat up the hit. But the reality is, once you start to look into it, the faster you fail, the faster you learn. And so if failure is actually learning, then you want to fail as fast as possible and the most amount of times. And so that's just something I've noticed is a common trait among like really high performers who put out a lot, is they just have this state of urgency. And this goes from literally like a remodel job site to people like Kanye and Jobs and Musk, and it basically goes from the very bottom to the very top, because even in remodels, like, yeah, sure, you can make a lot of mistakes, with like hiring the wrong guy, or maybe you could have saved some money on that little thing, but in the big picture, they usually end up making more money and growing more because they just have those failures so much faster. It's actually a little bit contradictory. Like, you wouldn't think that would be the case, but it actually is the case. And so, yeah, I would encourage you to kind of look at the high performers around you and how fast they move, how fast they kind of just snap back from those failures and then just go at it again. But that is one thing. Like, and if you actually talk to a lot of like really rich people who get a lot done, typically they won't be able to talk with you for many hours. They might have a very small conversation with you, and then usually they just run to the next thing. But that is because they do understand the value of the value of their time, and also just how finite it is in general.